In the shadow of ancient Rome, one man would rise from the depths of slavery to become the symbol of resistance, Spartacus. Born in Thrace, what is now modern-day Bulgaria, Spartacus's story is one of defiance, courage, and the unyielding desire for freedom. Once a soldier in the Roman army, he was captured, enslaved, and forced to fight as a gladiator. But Spartacus would not bow to the empire that enslaved him. In 73 BCE, he led a daring escape from the gladiatorial school in Capua, and what began as a simple bid for freedom quickly grew into a rebellion that would challenge Rome itself. With 78 gladiators by his side, Spartacus broke free, and what followed was a campaign of bold victories that sent shockwaves through the Roman Empire. Thousands of slaves, peasants, and even former soldiers flocked to his cause, united by their shared desire for liberation. Under Spartacus's leadership, they became a formidable force, defeating Roman legions time and time again. Despite their initial lack of resources, Spartacus's army used their knowledge of terrain and unconventional tactics to outmaneuver their Roman pursuers. In the heat of battle, Spartacus proved himself not only as a warrior, but as a brilliant strategist. His forces, though outnumbered and ill-equipped, displayed incredible skill and tenacity. The empire, which once seemed invincible, now found itself struggling to contain a rebellion that spread like wildfire across Italy. For a time, it seemed that nothing could stop Spartacus's revolt. As the rebellion grew in size and strength, the Romans grew desperate. They sent their best generals, including Crassus, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, to crush the rebellion. Crassus, who had already built his own powerful army, was given command of the Roman forces to end Spartacus's uprising once and for all. Yet, despite his resources, Crassus found himself locked in a fierce struggle. Spartacus's army, though not as well equipped, was driven by a burning desire for freedom, which made them a deadly adversary. For months, the Roman legions were unable to fully defeat Spartacus's forces. But as the months wore on and winter set in, Spartacus made the fateful decision to march his army north, hoping to escape into Gaul, beyond the reach of Rome's legions. He believed he could win freedom for himself and his followers by crossing the Alps. However, fate had other plans. The Roman army closed in, trapping Spartacus and his forces in southern Italy. In 71 BCE, the final battle between the rebels and the Roman legions took place. And despite their valiant efforts, Spartacus and his army were defeated. Spartacus himself was killed in battle, though his body was never found. Following the rebellion's collapse, Rome sent a brutal message to any who might dare challenge its power. Thousands of captured slaves were crucified along the Via Appia, lining the road with a horrific reminder of Rome's authority. But despite their brutal defeat, Spartacus and his followers left behind a legacy that would endure for centuries. His name became synonymous with resistance against oppression, with his story inspiring generations of people fighting for freedom around the world. Though he was defeated, Spartacus proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of resistance could rise up against tyranny. His rebellion was not just a fight for his own freedom, but for the freedom of all who were oppressed by the might of the Roman Empire. Today, Spartacus remains a powerful symbol of the human desire for justice, equality, and the courage to defy even the most powerful of empires. His life and rebellion remind us that the fight for freedom is never easy, but it is always worth the sacrifice, and that sometimes one man can change the course of history.